Hey, it's John Foss. I'm talking to the one, the only Mike Rowe. Mike, thanks so much for being back with us. And we're talking about 6 Degrees with Mike Rowe, the new show available right now on Discovery Plus. Tell us about the show.
Well, it's a history show for people who normally would never watch a history show. It's if you know the old parlor game, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, where, it's that, except I travel through time on a budget, trying to connect two seemingly disparate points with a little bit of production help from puppets, animation, my old high school acting buddy, a team of community theater players, some suspicious wigs, dubious costumes, special effects. And it's just kind of a fun, hot mess of a thing we did during COVID. And what came out the other end was a surprisingly fun romp through our history, and hopefully proof that we're a little bit more connected than the headlines today might lead us to believe.
And you've gone from Home Shopping, Dirty Jobs, and nobody ever told us that you were also an amazing writer and this huge history buff. How did this happen?
I don't know. I think I might have a knack for stealing ideas from other people. This show used to be called Connections, and it was on in the late 70s, and it was hosted by a terrific, brilliant mind, a guy named James Burke. And ever since, I just thought if I could find a way to do my version of that show, it would be fun. I mean, to answer your question, Dirty Jobs was a tribute to my grandfather and really a rumination on work. This is a tribute to my dad, who was a history teacher, taught high school history for years. And he always used to say to me, my job as a teacher is to make history as interesting as possible for kids who just really couldn't care less. The truth is, it's the same thing in TV. History is a tough sell. And if you can get it to a place that becomes truly relatable for virtually anyone, then you might have something new. And that was the trick too with Dirty Jobs. We wanted to bring people with us for the ride. And it's the same thing here. This is the making of a history show. It's also a history show, but it's also the kind of history show you would make during COVID when you don't have any choice but to make it up as you go.
That's a good point. And you mentioned Chuck. Tell us about your friend Chuck.
Well, he's an idiot. I love him. I've known him all my life. We went to high school together. He's actually a very talented actor. And he and I started our careers and went in different directions. And I wound up in the nonfiction world. And he wound up doing movies and soap operas and sitcoms and everything else. And so we've always stayed in touch. And now he works for my foundation. And we were just sitting around a couple years ago. Honestly, he was just looking for work. And I'm like, look, all right, I'll do a show and you can play like 35 or 40 different characters. So that's what we did. Oh my God, it was so much fun making this thing. And yeah, it's a kick now to see it all come together.